Hello everyone, this is a design I should have made long time back, and I'm using a cello tape reel from my daughter. So I've just removed the last tape, and this is a 20 gauge wire that I'm wrapping around the reel. What I realize is this seems to be the exact shape that didn't irritate or become very big. So I decided to wrap it around it. What I'm doing is I need two pieces because I'm making hoops, and this is the first time I'm making this design, so I'm wrapping it twice around it, and I'm going to leave 1 centimeter's length extra on both sides before I cut it. So now that we have left an additional 1 centimeter's length on both sides, we're going to use a flush cutter. Flush cutter is something that does not leave any jagged edges, because earlier I had used a semi flush cutter, so that left jagged edges on both sides, if you see. So this is a flush cutter, doesn't leave any jagged edges, and it is easier for us to file too. So now that we have got two duplicate pieces, let's start working on it. It's time to hammer it. Now there are two ways to hammer it. You can either hammer it normally just because you want it to hold the shape. Hold the shape means it will not get twisted or turned even when you are wearing it in your ears, or even if you're handling it. Usually when you don't hammer it, it tends to bend sometimes when you're wearing it in your ears. So that is what it means. And now that we have done this, we are going to start filing the ends. Filing, like I said, becomes easier when you use a flush cutter. So make sure that you're filing it nice and clean, even if that end is not the one that's going to be going through your ears. We still need to make sure every edge is clean, and that's why I check with my thumb each time. Now, another option for this is if you're just looking for normal hoops, I'm going to make it a little more flatter, like a thinner, flatter piece. You could have that also, because we are making it two options and two variations, one with a bead of your choice and one just a plain hoop that you can make. It could be with any wire. We are just going to flatten it as much as we want. So the choice is yours on how much you want to flatten the wire. This is a 20 gauge wire, and I have tried to flatten it out nicely. Just hold the hammer upright so that you do not get scratches and get a clean look like I have got over here. So once you're done that, now if you're not going to add a bead, then it is okay for you to go ahead and just make a half loop with a round nose plier. I'm just using the tip of the round nose plier to make a half loop, because we're going to start making the lock for this. Now this is in case you're not going to make any changes or add any beads, because once we make the lock, it's not going to be possible for us to add a bead. And I've used my miniature plier to make a top bend. Now this, if it becomes oval or anything, sometimes when we are doing it, it becomes oval. So in that case, I'm just going to put back this into the frame in which I cut it again, and make sure that it becomes nice and round. But if you like it oval, it's great that way also. But I wanted it round, so I made sure that I went back again and adjusted it on the frame. So now it is nice and round. You can just leave it as is, or you can level it up. Like I said earlier, to level it up, you cannot make the loops. So I'm using 10 mm brioles. I have a bunch of these in pink color and rainbow colors. I've added it. Like you can see, I have not made the bends. So first I'm going to be adding the bead or brioles in this case, and then I'm going to be making the half loop again with the tip of the round nose plier, and the other end we're just going to make a small bend. We don't want it a very big bend, because that is the part that you're going to be putting through in your ears, not the half loop this side. So make the bend is nice, and it's just enough to hold. We don't want a very big wire tucking out of your ear. Now that is done. As you know about brioles, the issue is it always keeps moving, and it always keeps moving to the sides. We don't want it moving. So in case you find that it is become tight or anything, just open it, adjust it, put it back. But if you want an even more permanent solution, my suggestion is to make sure that you set it up in place. And this is one single option where it is not in place, but it looks very beautiful for somebody who just wants to get it done with and get try different options in this. You can, one option is this, and then you have a plain option. So we have two options right away. And then the third option is to level it up with 24 gauge weave wire. I'm using 10 centimeters length, and I have looped it twice around the frame. And then from the back of the briole, I have brought it around and looped it twice on the other end. So with the balance wire, I'm just wrapping it in a very rustic way on both the ends. Now this ensures that your briole doesn't move, and it is so rustic and beautiful. I hope you like it.